Hello everyone, Miss Bowman here again to go through another literacy video with you, and today we're talking about reading journals. Your reading journal is a great way for you to extend your reading skills and also make connections between what you are reading and your understanding of the world around you. Reading journals allow you to use a whole range of high impact reading strategies as you read and are a really good complement to the work that you do in your interactive notebooks across all of your subjects. When you make an entry into your reading journal, it's called a thinking track. A thinking track allows you to tap into your metacognition, which is your thinking about your thinking. And the really good thing about doing this type of work is that it is totally connected to your level of learning, your own ZPD, which means that the detail that you put into your thinking track will connect directly to your Just Right text and what you need to learn next. My aim over the next couple of slides is to answer any questions you might have about how to go about using your reading journal. And if you still have further questions after you've gone through this video, then you should ask your teachers. The first point of call would be your tutorial teacher or your English teacher. And of course, you can get in contact with me or anyone on the literacy team by emailing literacy@stauntoncollege.vic.edu.au. So where do I complete my reading journal is the first question that you might have. Some of you have already started a reading journal, so you might have set this up in your English or tutorial classroom, and you may have already started practicing completing thinking tracks in that reading journal. If that's the case, fantastic. If you're ready to go and want to start completing reading journal entries, then all you need is an empty exercise book. The next question you might have is, how do I actually complete a reading journal entry? What does a thinking track look like? And this is where you have a whole heap of flexibility. And we're wanting you to have a little bit of trial and error and complete thinking tracks and reading journal entries in a range of different ways to see what works for you. And here are some ideas of what you could play around with. Firstly, you could visualize what you're reading by drawing pictures or symbols. You can write in dot points, so literally just create a list of some ideas or questions that you have. You might like to draw a diagram or table or use a graphic organizer to organize your ideas about what you've read. You could create a word splash about that includes all of the new words that you've read or some words that you'd like to try using yourself in your own writing. And of course, you can just write in simple sentences or write paragraphs to journal your ideas. Basically, it is totally up to you, and you have a huge amounts of flexibility to go through and use the reading journal as you see fit. Another tool you might like to use to complete your thinking track is a key like this one. This particular key links in with the reading habits rubric and the reading strategies grid that you will have been shown by your teachers. And if you decide to do reading journal entries that look like this, you will be able to match them directly to the goal that you've set for yourself around reading. So as you can see in this code, the different letters relate to different sections of the reading habits rubric. So you've got comprehension strategies for CS, DS is decoding strategies, vocabulary, and so on. And you can color code these as well. So that's another way or another thing you can do to complete your thinking track. And to finish off this video, I have just given you here an example of what a thinking track could look like. And this one does use the key that I showed you on the last slide. So this particular student has the goal from the reading habit rubric to make connections between what I'm reading and my world knowledge. And they are focusing on the novel The Hunger Games. And as you can see here, for the comprehension strategies, they're connecting into their understanding of text structures and features. And in a novel, two of those features are characters and setting. And if you have a read of the setting notes, they've said that they have noticed that Katniss lives in what sounds like a medieval village. And that means that this student is actually making connections to what they may have learned in humanities, for instance. I'll also point out that this student has written down a new word and color-coded it with a yellow V. And the word is insurmountable, and they're wondering what this word means. So here is an example of the types of things you could write down. I do want to reiterate that you have total flexibility as to what you note down, but you do want to make connections back to your goal that you've set about your reading so you can develop your reading, and you also want to try and use or connect to as many of the reading or literacy strategies that you can. Thanks very much for watching, and you'll see me again soon. See you later.